Hello everybody, I am your outdoor oddity seeker Bob Miller, and welcome to a bonus video for Season 1, Episode 10. On that particular episode, I made a startling discovery at Gompers Park. At Gompers Park, you have the park, a huge forest preserve, and 3 pathways. I have yet to look at the third pathway, which is the Skokie Trail, and it's adjacent to the pathway that I mostly go on, which is a bright pathway filled with plants and sunshine, and I love that pathway. It's one of my favorite walking locations. However, on the opposite side, this is like a polar opposite, is another pathway, which is, in the summertime, it's dark because of all the leaves and the foliage and the trees that cover it, and there's older men just walking around it. Now let me tell you the history before I reach the conclusion. Back in the summer of 2022, when I first started doing this series. Actually, there's not much of a history, but I do remember in the summer of 2021, I walked down that pathway to the end and back. I do remember there was like some men. They were like Mexican and Latino, and I didn't really think much of it. Like, I found it quite weird that they're just like sitting there, but it was just like, they're not bothering me. I shouldn't bother them. And as I kept going further, I found a tree covered in condoms. Unfortunately, I never got a picture for it. I was going to take a picture, but I was like, I don't want my viewers on Snapchat to see that. I really should have gotten a picture of it. But yeah, like the whole thing was just like covered in like condoms. It was a very strange sight. It was truly an outdoor oddity, but like that was like rated R outdoor oddity. Not all the panties I've seen. yeah, you've seen me. You've seen how I've seen like panties and boxers and pants and underwear. So now in the summer of 2022, when I'm first making this series, episode 10, this is the bonus video for it, I decided to explore the pathways. I explore the main one that I've already talked about that I loved, and the forest preserves. I've talked about how no one has done a thing about the broken bridge. And I remember it was about 5 o'clock, and I was like, I should be getting back home. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to take a little look at this other pathway to see what I can, maybe there's like interesting things. However, I discovered something that I sort of wish I didn't discover. In fact, how about I just upload the clip right here? Okay guys, I'm not joking. I have no idea what the fuck goes on in here. Like, you know, oh my god, no, I think I know why there's an infamous condom tree. Oh my god, oh, I think I may have figured it out, what goes on in there. Hold on, let me set this down and I'll talk. Okay, so this is what I think goes on in there. So this is what happened. I was venturing and I was like feeling all confident, and then I saw a guy, and then I saw another guy and another guy. And the thing was, like, they were just like standing around. They were just like walking around, standing around. Like the as you know, the pathway has like it's this long pathway, and then there's like multiple pathways.
And they're just like walking around in there, just standing around. They're like going in and out of the other pathways. And I think I know what goes on in there. I think some naughty activities go on in there. There's just these older men just standing around doing nothing. And it's like, I think they're just waiting for like someone to pull down their like trousers and like get at it. Like, if that's not the case, then why would there be just a bunch of like mature men just wandering around like in this area where no one walks in? And you know, I was even like chuckling to myself, like, what if like an orgy is happening, or like a possibly like a gangbang? And you know what? I think that's what goes on in this forest. And I'm not sure if I want to venture in there again, or even with a group of people. Maybe if it's a group of 7 people, sure. So far, none of them made like any advantages towards me. So like, yes, I did come out like safe and all, but like, it legit felt like a horror movie, man. Like, I'm just like walking, and there's a guy in front of me, there's another guy behind me, and we have like, we're like 6 feet apart, and we're just like walking around, and like, it legit felt like a horror movie, maybe released from A24. But like, I'm starting to think like, if there's another reason, like maybe it's like conspiracy theorist or MAGA or whatever the fuck. I mean, I could probably see that as a possibility, but I highly think that there's some naughty activity going on in that forest. I'd like to apologize, guys, but for my own safety's sake, that pathway is far too shady for me. Like, I just see like these guys, like these big guys just like walking around, and like, I mean, I had this like one guy just like walking behind me, and so I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna head over here to where like civilization is, and I look behind me, and he stopped walking behind me. I know one time I have like walked all the way down there, but the thing is like, yeah, man, like that's too shady. Like, and it's understandable like why it's shady now, because it's like rather late. Like, something tells me I should have like checked this out like earlier, but of course I wanted to get to like the main course. So the question is, will I ever venture down this way again? In time, I probably will. Maybe like I'll do that for a special like season 2 or season 3, but I don't think I'm gonna walk down that way, guys. I mean, it's, as I said, it's quite shady, and we never got a chance to see the infamous condom tree, if it's still there.
Thankfully, the men that were like wandering about didn't do anything. They didn't like charge at me, they didn't threaten me or take advantages towards me. But it was just this like unnerving and uncomfortable vibe. And I'm just like, why are all these men here? Like, could it be part of like a cult or something? I mean, that's one possible answer, but like this, but as I was like on the park bench, I was like, oh, yep. And I did some research, and apparently the term is called gay cruising. Well, any sex can do it, but it's mostly just older men. They would find like secluded areas, like away from the city, away from people, just to like get down and dirty. And understandably so, they're like in the, I keep pointing that way because in my mind I keep thinking of like the pathways. Like, if I'm leaving Gompers Park, like there's the exit, there's the pathway that I like, there's the pathway that no one's allowed to go there. Like, that pathway makes sense, especially in the summer. As I mentioned, there's like so much trees and foliage that they're able to hide, and like there's actually like little pathways that you can go like just to like get back into the parking lot. So that's what gay cruising is, and that is a gay cruising spot. I really hope like my outdoor oddity videos can get like the recognition it deserves. I hope there are like other Chicagoans out there like in the neighborhoods that go like I want to like form like a community, or like we got to come together as a whole to like fix up that area, because like it's right next to a park, guys. Gay cruising shouldn't happen, let alone happen at a park where there's like families and children. Because it'd just be like strange if like you're hanging out with your family and you see like a couple of like older gentlemen exiting out. I mean, you could just say like, oh, they're walking their dog or taking pictures or something, and it's not a great vibe. And I also talked about like the broken bridge, and I really want to like I really wish we could come together and like actually do something about it, like find like the city of Chicago or like someone just to like fix up these areas. Like we've always talked about like fixing up Chicago and like tourist locations. Well, why don't we fix up that? Why don't we make that like the new the new 606? I mean, like the 606 is great, but how about we get like a second 606 or like a new trail? I would like for that area to be fixed up and we can push away the gay cruisers. I gotta check the pathway. The gay cruising pathway. Because in my mind, I was thinking like, who is gonna be here? Like, what gay, like, you can be, I don't know how desperate gay cruisers are, but in my mind, it's like, who's gonna be here? It's cold. It's the weekday. Like, if I see any gay cruisers, any old men in here, they have to be desperate. And I was able to finally complete the whole pathway from beginning to end. It takes you about like close to Montrose, like the street Montrose. So if you ever want to explore the gay cruising pathway and avoid the men, you gotta go there in the wintertime. Because like, what man or what old man wants to be out there like waiting to get his willy wet in the wintertime? Like, I'm pretty sure there are like desperate people, but like I didn't see any that time around. While this is a viewer discretion advised video, I'm still gonna have to pixelate a certain area because believe it or not, I found a condom tree. Okay, it's only one condom. You can see the small pixelated area, but it's like, that's proof. That's evidence. I'm probably thinking that this is a bit of a sick joke, but like, maybe like as soon as the summer comes, it'll become, the summer comes! Oh no! I did not mean that. That was not a pun. As soon as the summer comes, now I use that as a pun. As soon as the summer comes, I can't fucking do it, I'm sorry. As soon as the summer comes, that condom tree will be in full bloom. That's disgusting. So, say that line again, okay? But as soon as the summer comes, I'm pretty sure that condom tree will be in full bloom. That's disgusting! But yeah, there's graffiti, sidewalk faces, trash, and I was like very happy with the footage that I got. However, when I was working on these bonus videos, I accidentally deleted some footage from the video camera. And I was like, ah, shit. Now I gotta go back there again. And I was like, well, thankfully I don't have to run into any men. Well, you see, kiddies, it's a lot like this. You see, so I went back there in February. The voice actor for Bob won't return until he gets paid. I went back to Gompers Park in mid-February, and the weather was very, like, it was cold, and then it warmed up. So, like, I had to wear my goggles because, like, there was, like, snow, and I do apologize if there were spots that got onto the camera. It was very difficult trying to, like, keep the lens clean. But I wanted to, like, go back to record the footage, all of the footage that I needed to get, and upload it on my computer so that I don't have to go back there again. So the first man that I ran into, he was walking his dog. Then the second guy, thankfully he didn't make any advances towards me. Advances. I get those two words mixed up. It's not my fault it's not my fault the English grammar is terrible. Anyways, the second guy I saw, he was definitely a gay cruiser. Like, you can't fool me, man. I know what you do in these forests. You can't fool me. And the third guy, I remember in the video I mentioned that there's like a third guy, but as I look through, like, try to zoom in on it, you can't really see him. So I was like really worried because, like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. So I decided to, like, step out so he can walk through. He had one of those blue pandemic masks on, and he had something in his arm. And I waved at him, he waved, and then he like stepped closer to me. But thankfully, like, that was it. That was like the only thing he did. And I remember when we were both this is actually it was frightening, but in a way it kind of, like, what we were doing was I was walking and he was walking. Oh yeah, I gotta tell you what he was carrying. I, like, looked at his arm and he was carrying a hammer. And I was just like, in my mind I was thinking, like, what are you using that hammer for? What are you going to use that hammer for? And it was just like, don't, like, I hope this guy doesn't mess with me, because I don't want, like, I hope he's using that hammer for what hammers are for, like, nailing things, like, you know, nails and screws. I know you don't, you drill screws, but I'm hoping that hammer does not come into contact with flesh, you know? You know? So as we're walking away, every time I look back, he's looking back. So, like, okay, I'm going to keep walking. Because, you see, I kept looking back because I didn't want him to, like, charge at me or something like that. But I was starting to wonder, like, what if he saw me as a predator? Like, what if he's actually the prey? I was thinking in the sense of, like, what if I was going to do something to him? That's the way I took it. When I was coming back, I saw him, and he had, like, a tray of, like, there was, like, beverages and food, and he had, like a small green bucket with, like, tissue paper in it. And I was like, you know what? He has his own problems. He's not bothering me. Why should I bother him? I kept walking. I kept looking back just to make sure. And I don't know what assumptions to make. I mean, I shouldn't make assumptions because I could be wrong. But from the way I see it, I think he was just a homeless man with a hammer. Well, would you prefer a hobo with a shotgun? That's the name of a movie that I'm not going to watch because it has genital torture in it, and I don't like that. That's why I won't watch any of the Terrifier movies. Ta-da! Now that I've gotten that confession out of the way, back to our story. I'm pretty sure he was just like a homeless man, and if he was, I feel bad for him. Because it's just like, the poor guy's out there, and it's like snowing, it's like cold. Whatever he's using that hammer for, I hope it's not for anything malevolent. But thankfully, here I am, making the bonus video right now, telling you that if you ever want to check out the gay cruising pathway at Gompers Park, You have two choices. Bring a bunch of people with you to make you feel more intimidating than them, or go there in the cold-ass wintertime. But the adventure does not end there. If you time yourself from beginning to end, if you just like walk in a straight path and, oh God, walking there, oof, the ground, the pavement changes. Like, you're walking on dirt, you're walking on sunshine, whoa, walking on sunshine, it's time to feel good. Oh yeah. But you're walking on like frozen dirt, and I was wearing my boots, and I was like, and you're walking on like big rocks. It's not a, I'm not familiar with like that type of like ground, that type of unevenness, and like I kept like slipping, and like my feet like here's my feet, and they kept going like that. They kept like curling up. On a good frozen day, if you time yourself, it should take you between 25 to 35 minutes. While it does feel longer than that, I did time myself, and it takes me about 25 to 35 minutes if I don't like stop at everything to take pictures and videos of. And so I was going to end the adventure right there, but I was like, you know what? I have to see the forest preserves. I've never walked in a forest preserve like frozen, let alone walk on like frozen water. Like, when I heard those cracks underneath, I actually had to stop my camera, because I was just like, if anything should happen, like if I should fall through, I don't want these cameras to get hurt or anything. Thankfully, I didn't fall into the water, the frozen water. It was a bit terrifying, because like I'm walking on it and I hear the cracks go like, and I was like, okay, we're gonna take this nice and slowly. It was pretty cool to see the frozen forest preserve. I saw some deers, of course, the natives of the Gompers Park, what you would expect to see. As I mentioned, I had a difficult time walking on the frozen mud. You know what it felt like? It felt like I was walking in like a foreign place. Not a planet, but like I felt like I was walking in like Canada or Montana, like a place that I know, I mean, technically those places are foreign to me because I've never been there. But it felt like I wasn't walking in Chicago anymore. I didn't feel like I was in a Chicago forest preserve. I was thinking of continuing. I wanted to check out the other forest preserve, the other side. I was like, nah, I already have enough photos and videos as is. Like, hopefully people can finally see my videos, and if they're like from Chicago, they can like understand like the crap that is going on in these like parks that I'm pointing out. Like, this right here should become a more walkable path, and we should cease the end of graffitiing on trees. Oh, by the way, does that say Matthew? Mitham stinks. And I've already talked about how that bridge is like decrepit, and I've talked about the gay cruising among the other pathway. I like what we need to do is, we as Chicagoans, I know I said that wrong, Chicagoans, whatever, citizens of Chicago, like, need to come together
because like I know this is some part of like Gompers Park. This is like the Weber Spur Trail, or the whatever the fuck you want to call it trail. But we as citizens of Chicago need to come together as a whole and finally take care of like these like broken areas. Like if we want to make Chicago more welcoming to not just our future generations, but also like people who want to get like an enjoyable life in Chicago, I think we definitely need to focus on these areas that really help make Chicago a great place. Wow, so that's what it looks like without all the foliage. So yeah, you're not going to believe where I'm walking. That's right. This is the one area I always advise myself and my followers not to go down on. This is the other side of the Gompers Park path. We always go that way, the bright side. And I've mentioned how this area here is a gay cruising spot. And there'd just be like men walking around, they'll be like hiding over there. And the reason why they do that is because, well, one, no one has like decided to take care of this area, and I really got to take a picture of those trees. One, no one has decided to take care of this area, and that's sad. Two, it's far away from civilization. And three, when spring and summer comes around, all of this turns into like leaves and grass, and so like they're easy to like hide. And like you got the parking lot right there. And when I made these outdoor oddity videos, I just made them for like fun and entertainment. And now they're like so much more than that. They're going to be like time capsules. Like I filmed this spot in 2023, and in 2026 it looks a lot different. So like you're doing the comparisons, and the contrasts. And then another thing is, if you're like from Chicago and like you can form a like Facebook community group or something like that to like finally go like, you know what, we got to come together as a community and take care of this once and for all. Yeah! And then something actually finally gets done about it. What the? Where did everybody go? Oh, it's because I got the lens cap off. Woo! Now that. Oh, I'm keeping that. There's a pipe. Look at we gotta look at that pipe. Yep, that is indeed certified 100%. Oh my goodness, look at this. And someone was having a merry little Christmas here. Yeah, they've got like Christmas lights. Well, there's your outdoor oddity for the day. Oh yeah, that little red rope, that's going to stop people.